What's up, y'all? This is MGTV Reactions, and today I'm going to be doing a reaction video on Wine Glass. The video I'm going to be reacting to is titled, Do I Have a Learning Disability? So before I even start the reaction video, I just want to start off by saying Happy New Year, you guys. I've been going for like a month or so. I had some personal things going on. I actually lost two very close loved ones of mine, my uncle and my grandmother, within a week of each other. So I took some time off the internet to just gather myself and grieve and just, get myself together and prepare myself for having to attend a double funeral. So now that that's over with, you know, and I'm, starting to feel a little, I guess, normalcy again. Not even normalcy, but I'm trying to get myself together, y'all. So basically, I'm back to doing my videos or whatever. And I haven't really been keeping up with what's going on YouTube with these ladies. However, I do know so far with Wine Glass, basically, she has quit her job. Yes, so she quit her job that she so-called moved for because she wanted to cut down her 20-minute commute. That's why she said she quit her job, and she said her job was essential to her because, they were so broke at one point in time, they couldn't even afford to go to the laundromat. So I guess things are better because she quit her job. But anyway, I'm just going to hop right in and start my reaction video. You guys, please don't forget to thumbs up the video, comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are, what you think about anything that I'm saying or she's saying, and subscribe to my channel. So let's get started.
To the channel, it's your girl Wine Glass and Chill, and today I'm on my way to my psychiatrist appointment. All right, y'all. So I'm at my psychiatry appointment, and today, she wanted to see me 2 weeks, because I told her how I'm feeling and stuff. So she wanted to see me in 2 weeks. So this is my 2 week follow-up appointment. And basically, when I go in here, I usually talk about my ADHD. I talk about my depression. And really, my ADHD really lies on my depression. I really just blame ADHD for the depression because ADHD is the type of form of like a computer running too many programs at once. So when I explain some stuff to y'all and I just rumble and be like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, and then go to another subject, that's me, my brain having too many programs running at once. So I'm really going to start diving deep into my ADHD and just explaining everything that's going on with our
Okay,
family.
so for starters, wine glass, please no, don't dive deep into your ADHD and your depression. I think everybody is well aware of what ADHD is and how that works. Um, everybody has came in contact with a child or, even an adult who has ADHD. I think most grown-ups deal with depression on a regular basis because we all have stress and we all have bills and we all have things going on. And other people are going through their own mental health situations. So you don't need to dive deep and explain any of that to us at all. And she's already talking about this depression in almost every video. It's something going on. She's overwhelmed. She's stressed. She's all over the place. She can't manage it. Her kids are a problem. We've heard everything there is to hear pretty much about why she's depressed and why she's going through all the things she's going through. We know that she is getting a check for this. We know all that. It's really not much more to dive deep into. Just dive deep into your issues with your psychiatrist. I don't understand why we need to dive deep in it with you. But all right, let's continue.
Family a little bit more, because I want everybody to be educational about ADHD first.
Educated. You want everybody to be educated about ADHD, and most people are educated about ADHD already, and we can tell that you definitely have it because you're all over the place. You don't need to, we don't need to dive any deeper in that, but let's continue.
One is for you guys to understand what we struggle with on a day-to-day basis. Our brains are different from the average person that files are completely organized. Our brains are not organized like that. Even when I talk, I could say words weird. That's my ADHD. So that's me trying to figure out how to say it. If I'm saying it right, I don't know, So it's really a lot you to take in when you do have ADHD to understand what we're going through and to do YouTube, just period. So I'm fit to get in here and I'm
What?
going to read
Dude,
my book
YouTube.
for like 20 minutes. And then I'm going to tell you exactly what she said once I come back out. In here, I'm going to read my book. And the book I'm reading is, I think it's called The Thug Love or something like that. I
Mm,
can't remember. But I haven't read my book in so long. So I need to do that. I'm going to do that and relax for like
why do you need to read a book about thug love? Why don't you read something that is educational so you can gain some more knowledge yourself? Thug love. Okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with reading a little raunchy ghetto book every now and again, but girl, you don't need to read that. You need to figure out your life. But okay.
30 minutes because I got a 30-minute gap and this is my time to relax before I go back there and really give me some mental peace. Okay, y'all, so I'm back in the car and let's talk about this mental that I've been going through. With my psychiatrist, I was just telling her like, because okay, let's go back. I'm so sorry, y'all. I do be everywhere, but I told my psychiatrist that I wanted to quit my job. I wanted to give 2 week notice, right? And the only reason why I did a 30-day notice because she only do 30-day schedules. And working at this job that I was going to be working at, she does pay 50% of the rent. So I asked her, like, if I give you a 2 week notice, would you pay, would you pay partial, not 50%, but 25% of the rent? How much would I owe on the rent? She told me that she would not pay nothing on the rent.
So here's
So
my thing. Boom. So you did not move because of a 20-minute commute. You moved because you got this job because you wanted to get into these apartments, is what I'm grasping. And you wanted to get in these apartments because they pay 50% of your rent. So why didn't you just say that from the beginning? And Wine Glass, you're a fool. So basically, so she finessed her way into these apartments and now she doesn't want to work anymore and she still thinks that they're going to pay a percentage of the rent. Are you slow? You know what? Let me not even ask that. Let me not even ask that. I'm confused. So, well, if I'm just not understanding, if Wine Glass was only working part time, then why quit the job in the first place? If they're paying 50% of the rent, like, why would you want to mess that up? I, okay, let's just continue.
I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stay for 30 days, but I'm not taking my mental in mind telling, hold on, let me
I'm
say this
confused.
again. I'm not putting my mental first. My mental is so important for my whole family. All of our mentals are important for our whole family. And me having this job, I run out 5 times, maybe 6, maybe 7 times a day, in and out. No, 2, 4, 6, 8. That's lunch. That's AM. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, bed. That's 4 times. And then if I have to do a morning check, that's 4. That's 5. That's 2, 4, 6, 8.
Oh my goodness, girl.
And a PM check.
So my question is this:
That's
if
12 times.
Wineglass knew what all the details of the job before taking it, why not think about? I mean, why didn't she think about her mental state then? Why did she not consider the fact that she doesn't really have the help at home to be going in and out of the home constantly, back and forth? Then why? So I'm just confused. Don't make it. I feel like she's making this about the job affecting her mentally, when really it was just her finessing her way into these apartments. That's why she got the job. That's what it said. It's pretty clear to me. And now that she's in the apartment, she no longer wants to work the job. And it also could be because she doesn't have the support at home, because she can't count on going out to work several times a day. And she can't count on the man at home to pick up the slack. The most he's going to do is sit with the babies and look at them. He's not going to feed them, um, help them with homework, clean up a little bit, put a load of laundry in the washer. He's not going to do any of those things. But she already knew that because he wasn't doing it before when she wasn't working. And then she started working and he still wasn't doing it. I'm confused. So, you know what? Let's just continue.
Times a day, I have to run back in and out, right? Mentally, I can't do that. That's an unstable job. And I don't know why I thought I could do it. I thought it would be better, but it's still not better. My mental is really playing with me. My kids is not on a routine. My house is messed up. Having ADHD is just understanding.
My question is this. Let me know down in the comments. Was her mental right before she started working? Was her home clean before she started working? Was everything being ran smooth before this job? No, it wasn't. In my opinion, it wasn't. So what? Like, that's what happens. You don't have any other help. Yeah, I mean, you're doing it basically by yourself, but you have a live-in babysitter. Excuse me. So of course it would feel like it's too much because you're doing everything by yourself. But at the same time, if you can't, because she claimed the reason why she got the job was because she couldn't afford to do laundry, and that she needed the extra income. So if the money was really needed that badly, then that's just what you have to do as a mother. Even though you're technically, supposedly not a single mother, but it appears that you are, even though you have a man in the house. You got to make sure the bills is paid so you can keep a roof over your kid's head, regardless. So now what happens? They're not going to pay 50% of this rent, and it's probably higher than the last place. And now you don't have the job to supplement the income. So what? What is the other? So what are you going to do? You just social media and your social security checks? I'm quite sure this was a plan all along just to get in there. And I'm sure it was beneficial to have them pay 50% of the rent as well. But now you're going to have to pay the entire rent. And maybe her and her boyfriend over there, their social security checks combined will be enough to pay the rent. And then social media, YouTube should be enough for the rest. Utilities, if they have to pay any. And what, she got a car note too. So like she got a lot going on. Why did you, like, I just don't understand what was the purpose. If they was already down bad before, to the point where they couldn't wash clothes. So now you're going to go back to that? Like what? Let's continue.
Understanding it and knowing what affects it is very important. Now, me having a consistent schedule
with this schedule,
with this job is just not benefiting me or my kids. Yes, it pays a little bit more on my rent, but I can pay my own rent. I can afford to pay my own rent. It's just I'm lacking a little bit more money, right? So in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, I have a whole business. I have YouTube. But my mental is more important than bills. And that's what I feel like I know what I need to do far as quitting this job earlier. And then I get paid on this Friday that's coming up, not from her, from my other job. I get paid from that job. And I'm just going to give her my whole check. So I planned on doing a birthday party for Malaysia and Nayori because Nayori's birthday came up and we moved and I couldn't do a party for him. And now I'm like, I'm not going to do a party for neither. You know why? Because my bills are way more important. And I know a lot of people is like, well,
girl, I'm confused. So the bills are not way more important than your mental, but the bills are way more important than celebrating your children's birthdays. I'm not understanding. So this girl is so confusing. It's nothing to celebrate a child's birthday, girl. I mean, you could have just got a cake and some ice cream, decorated the house, invited some family over, ordered, got some Little Caesars pizza, boom, birthday party. I'm not understanding the excuse as to why your child's birthday wasn't celebrated, or isn't going to be celebrated, just like Christmas didn't happen, all because of the things that you have going on. Why is it that the bills, are not more important than your mental state, but you don't care about how it affects your children mentally when you don't make a way to celebrate them? That you never make a way to make them feel special. I mean, I just don't, I don't understand that. Why it doesn't take much to make a child happy. You could go ask them what they want, bring a gift back, whatever, one gift. They don't have to get a lot. Just do something for your child so that they don't feel like they're lacking anything. It just doesn't, it's not adding up. So they have to keep suffering because of your bills, but you can't suffer because you have bills. Girl, you should never quit that job. Like what?
Your kids suffer. Bills are important, mental is important, and I'm doing this because so
Girl,
I
but the
can be
kids
a
aren't
better
important.
mother for them.
Oh my God. She
I
said that
feel
when she got the job. She said she was getting a job because she wants to be a better mother and have more money for the kids. Now you're quitting the job because you want to be a better mother for the kids. But somehow the kids always wind up getting the short end of the stick. It doesn't make any sense. She doesn't make any sense. She's irritating. Like, girl, if you're going to do it, you feel like it's best to quit your job, then don't get on here with a shaky voice talking about you about to get a lady a whole check to pay your rent. Girl, you just said you got the money to pay your rent. So what's the problem? Like, what is it?
I feel like me moving, doing this, moving to this house, one is better, it's bigger, the school district is okay, but y'all didn't know what we was going through in the other house of the reason why we wanted something different. And it has nothing to do with CPS. It had nothing to do with
Well, then what was the reason? Because this place doesn't appear to be that much bigger or that much better, in my opinion. You claim that the main reason that you wanted to get this other place wasn't because it was something going on at the other location where you were residing. She said it was because of a commute. So that just makes it seem like those CPS allegations were actually the case. You wanted to move to get out of the whatever was going on. It was probably people in her business or whatever. I mean, I don't know if the father is doing, whatever they allegedly said he was doing. Nobody knows that for sure. But at the same time, that was her reason for this job. And then you quit the job once you get there. How long has it been? Has it been like a month or two? Two and a half, maybe. I'd say 2 months since they've been in this place. Shit, maybe 3. I don't know. But it wasn't, they haven't been there that long. And now you're quitting the job. Like, girl, whatever.
the internet, nothing with CPS, nothing. I have not had a single CPS case ever caught on me. So I want y'all to understand that that has nothing to do with CPS, but we moved because of certain things. And then I'll tell y'all probably down the line, but right now I'm not going to tell y'all because I feel like that right now I don't want to
Of course
deal
not.
with on the internet. But um, so ADHD is definitely something to consider for your brain, for everybody.
She's
Like
stressing
just
me
if
out
you've
with this
ever
shit. She
had
just be
it,
all over the
you
place.
could be everywhere. But having a job like this that's really playing, that's holding me back, I feel like I'm holding hostage. Be I'm holding hostage because I pay my rent. I'm forced to stay there for 30 days because of my rent. But I'm just like, now I'm like, I'm not for to stay there. I already worked enough money so I know I could cover my rent for this month. I'm just going to give you my whole check and just do my YouTube. and call it a day, because my mental is way more important than anything, than anything, y'all. I want to talk about too about, I know some people ask, was I ever in a learning program? It's called a learning disability program when I was younger. And I'm going to tell you guys, yes, I was. I struggle with reading and
Well, that's
writing.
clear.
Math, I'm okay with, but yes, I am. I was. And I'm not ashamed to tell you who I was and who I wasn't.
She shouldn't be ashamed of the fact that when she was younger, she was in a, the in a class with other children who had learning disabilities. There's nothing embarrassing about that because that's it just is what it is. If she needed that extra attention, that extra help, that's just what she needed. However, what she should be embarrassed about is the fact that she had all these children and she is, putting them last, in my opinion. To continuously get on here and say that you're trying to be the best mother for them, yet they always get the short end of the stick because of your decisions. It just makes no sense. And that is something that I really just don't like about Wine Glass. Why do the children have to suffer because of your decisions? They can't get a Christmas, they can't get a birthday, they can't get anything. And apparently this job was supposed to help her be able to be a better mother and a better provider for them because she would have extra income. But now she's leaving that job and now she has to give the whole check to the landlord or whoever the person is. And so now her children don't get to have, her child, because she already missed the other birthday, her child, or both of them don't get to have a birthday celebration because of a decision that she made abruptly. Because all of a sudden she's overwhelmed, where she's overwhelmed when she's not working, she's overwhelmed when she is working. And that's just because she's an overwhelmed person. And it's also because of the fact that she has someone in her house who is not really taking the load off of her, but just piling and adding on to it. So no matter how much she tries to uplift this man and the things she says, everybody can clearly see that he is not that much help to her. And so that's the unfortunate part about it, is that her children they have to suffer because of her choices. It just doesn't make any sense. And that just makes me believe that maybe there was some truth to certain things that were said on the internet, because how did you go from saying that you know, you wanted to move because of the commute, it was too much back and forth and a long distance or whatever, so now you move closer and that's still not good enough for you. I don't think Wine Glass ever wanted to move. Maybe Wine Glass wanted to be able to have a tax check. So maybe that's why she worked for a little bit, just to be able to have some money coming in. Who knows? But let's continue. Let's finish out, see what else she has to say.
Because that does not define me. I'm not slow. I'm very smart. I'm smart in my own ways. I'm smart everywhere. Everybody is smart in this world in their own ways. Everybody learn in their own ways. But my thing is, when I was younger, they did not know I had ADHD. So if I was younger and I would have had that ADHD labeled on there, I probably would have been a lot better than what I am now as today, because of that not that label, but what they could have did for me, what they're doing for my children. So my daughter has what I got. I feel like her disability is somewhat what I have too, because I have speech too. So when I'm talking, a lot of people's like, "Oh, I don't understand. You're illiterate," and that's wrong for you
That's
guys to say
crazy.
you're illiterate and you're not really paying
People,
attention to
people,
some.
people are so harsh. Not they told her that she was illiterate. The way she talks, it is annoying because like she's all over the place. She doesn't really finish what she's saying a lot of the times, or she just doesn't use words correctly or pronounce them correctly. So yeah, I get that part, but illiterate is crazy to say.
Some people really do struggle with learning. Everybody don't learn on the same level as everybody else. I know what I got in my life, but I know one thing for certain, that I'm not slow. I'm very smart. I'm very intelligent. So my daughter has her learning disability and her ADHD diagnosis, and my baby can write a paragraph. A fucking
What?
paragraph. Do you know I almost started crying on Christmas? When I was younger
I'm
and I was her age, I
confused.
was
Her
8 years.
daughter appears to be older. I don't know the exact age. Okay. But let's just say this. I have a son who is 10 years old who also has ADHD. Um, he's very, very, very intelligent, and he's not in a class with other children who have learning disabilities. He actually scores very high on his tests and everything like that. He does have behavioral issues at times, though, due to the fact that he is unable to stay on track mentally. Like, he doesn't focus well, he gets easily distracted by other things that are going on in the class. So that was an issue for him. But as far as learning, um, and grasping what the people are trying to teach, he's always been, you know, great with that. He knows what's going on in the classroom, but his attention is just scattered all over the place at times. And so he's getting assistance with that as well. But that's, I mean, I would think that your child should be able to write a paragraph. Wine glass. I mean, what are you saying? They're not, did they, is it just the issue is just ADHD? Then okay. But if you're saying that you're surprised about that, she can write a paragraph at this, I'm assuming, I would think that her child is at least around 8, 9, 10 ish, okay, in that age range. So I don't know. I'm just a little confused about that. Is it something more to it than just ADHD? Because ADHD doesn't necessarily equate to a person not being able to learn, and understand the work. But let's continue.
8 years old. I didn't know how to read and write back then. And that used, back then, um, back then I didn't know. So my mom blamed it on Milwaukee County schools, because versus where we stay at, where me and my kids stay at, their school system thrives to help kids. So in Milwaukee, when I was younger, I don't know about now, but when I was younger, it was like they didn't really want to help me. So I felt in the wayside.
Okay. It's a lot going on over there with Wine Glass. I'm not sure what's going on with this video. But
Not having
at the end of the day, let me just pause it. At the end of the day, Wine Glass is saying a lot right now. She is rambling on and on about her ADHD and uh, her kids having certain issues and the job and everything else. I want to take a look at her comments. So I'm just going to wait for those to load. Who I got to sneeze. Oh, sheesh. Anyway, I hate when that happens when you got to sneeze, but it's just not coming out and it takes forever. But anyway, Wine Glass is all over the place. So what's going to happen next? She's going to wind up saying that they got to move or they don't got the money for the rent or whatever the case may be. Like, girl, it seems like she doesn't think things through before she does them. But at the same time, like I said, her moving there was for the convenience of somebody else paying 50% of the rent. It could have also been because she had other things going on at the other place and she was just in a rush to get out of it. And that was a quick and easy way to get out of it. And they came with some extra benefits of her being able to get 50% of the rent paid. I mean, who doesn't want to, there's no issue with that. I mean, I would be happy with that. And now she just doesn't want to work because she's overwhelmed. I guess she's frustrated because Bay's not doing anything while she's working. But whatever, let's get into these comments because, it's the same ish, different day with these girls. especially with her. Um, Somebody said, so now you're being transparent. Do you understand that the way you have chosen to communicate has caused the majority of the backlash you're getting? My heart goes out to you, and at this point, all I want to do is hug you, but I'm struggling with the fact that you and only you have been telling your story. Change your mindset, and you can change your life. What you're doing, where's she taking this? What you're doing is working against yourself. My intentions are not to hurt you in any way, but how you handle things is not beneficial to you or to your children. Please be mindful of what you say and how you say it. You have now cast a cloud of doubt around yourself. Moving forward, please remember that if you can't be honest, then say nothing at all. No shade. Just want better for you and the children. Your children here, and they're watching you. Wishing you the best, girl. Okay. I mean, um, let's see. Somebody else said, I can tell you're a good mom, but you have too much on you. I agree that your current job isn't substantial for you as a mother, but if you had the support you needed, your overall mental health would be better. You go to work, still come home, do laundry, grocery shopping, and a family of six to feed. It's not fair to you. You aren't getting any time to pour into yourself. Many of us watch, and I agree with this person, I want to see the whole comment. Many of us watch your videos and try to give advice because we've been there. I've been a stay-at-home mom and a working mom, so I feel your tiredness through the screen. We are also about the same age, so I really understand how you feel. I just want you to know that it doesn't have to be this hard. You deserve a soft life, even with kids. Be kind, also true to yourself, and eventually you'll have peace and order in your home. And it isn't meant to be judgmental or hateful, just advice from one woman to another. I don't see anything wrong with that comment, but it is clear she doesn't want anybody to say she doesn't have help because she wants everybody to think that her man is just great. But it's clear that she doesn't have any support at home. Okay, so she has a lot of people uplifting her. Let's see. Um, Somebody said, "I'm so glad to hear you speak your truth finally." I'm just speaking on the aspect of who you are. I'm trying to stop crying so I can get this out. I wish I had the courage you have now at 30. People couldn't understand me. I was always judged and so they say I didn't catch. Okay. So basically there's people in the comments relating to the ADHD diagnosis. Um Somebody said, I don't know, you were so happy to get this job. If you had help at home, you would still like it, I believe. Esme could be in daycare. To me, financial stress is the worst kind, and it seems you're going to be heading back there. And that's exactly what I think. I don't understand the point of her being so excited about this job and saying how she loves her job and it's a great job and everything, to now just completely dismissing it and saying that it's too much on her. I mean, I could understand that because I'm a single mother myself, so and I have a full time job too, child. So I get it. It's overwhelming. It's a lot, but at the same time, being financially struggling is also a lot, and not being able to give your kids the things that they need is also emotionally taxing because you want to be the best mother that you can be. So for Wineglass, it appears that Esme would need to get in daycare and she needs a day job or whatever. So that she can be getting off work around the same time her kids are supposed to be getting dismissed from school. Okay, and she can go home and be a mother to them. She can do all that because that's what I do with my four children. And it just has to work out that way. And now it's frustrating when you have other adults in the house or a man beside you and they're not helping because you start to feel like, what are they there for? But she's not going to speak about that. She's just going to let that man sit there and keep not helping her. And while she does everything, and she's going to try to get the money together while he sits on his ass and drinks beers in the room. That's all she's going to do. That's all she's been doing. Let's see. Okay, let's read this. They said, sounds like you took the job to get partial of the rent paid, not to be closer to the job by 20 minutes. You stayed at the job long enough to get some of the rent paid. Be real, I would feel so dumb by yelling my husband, but you needed help getting the rent paid. A husband is supposed to pay the rent, not scheming with you to work to have the rent paid, but by him bringing income. Let me open up this whole comment because yeah, I agree. Um, but by him bringing income to pay the rent, his anxiety don't hold him back when it's time to go to the grocery store to get them turkey legs. Please stop making a mockery out of mental health. How does one's whole family have ADHD? Scamming disability is at an all-time high. Stop talking about your mental. You had to go to an outside job to work like we all do, and it's disturbed your mental. To be so young and lazy is horrific. A smart woman would never call a man her husband if he hasn't married her, and she would not have allowed a man to impregnate her 4 times without marriage first. You tell on yourself, keep telling yourself how smart you are, you'll get there. Now listen, I'm not even gonna get into all of that, but you know what? That's what it was. She was scheming to get the rent paid. And I have not heard of an entire family having some sort of mental, ADHD, anxiety, all these different things going on. Everybody in the family has that. I mean, that's crazy. It could, I mean, and all her kids are on medicine. It could be that, she's just doing this to get a check. And I don't, now that's wrong to have your children be diagnosed, and not even give them to the time to try to allow them to get it together on their own first before you have them diagnosed. You know what I mean? Just to get a check. I think that that's sick. But I know a lot of people who've done it. Let's see. I'm going to read one more comment. Let me see. Let me pick a good one. All right, I'll just read this last one that's popping up because I ain't got time to keep scrolling back and forth. They said, let me just say it's actually good to finally see you in your light. You have to remember you have a man living under your roof. You've been allowing him to depend on you as if he is one of the kids. It's not right. You're so overwhelmed because you don't have help. No matter how you fake it for the camera, we can see through it. It's like you have the world on your shoulders. And Robert, excuse me, has his overgrown ass on your back. It's not fair for you to have 4 kids to take care of if that man is sleeping, eating, watching TV, playing games, using lights and gas. He would definitely have a job. There's no excuse. You really have to stop making excuses for him. He's a grown man. The more you give him excuses, the more you would have on your shoulders. It's actually sad. I don't think you're a bad person. You don't make good choices when it comes to that man. And you keep up the facade when we know it's lies. That's what makes us side eye you. Remember, it's easy to lie, but hard to keep it up. You do your best at being a mom, and baby mama Robert don't do his best at taking care of the family he created. Hopefully things get better for you. Okay, now listen, I agree. You guys, that was a lot. People are leaving paragraphs upon paragraphs underneath her video. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. The bottom line is, she had some things going on over at that apartment. We don't know exactly what, but we do know what was alleged. Okay. She wanted to get out of that apartment. So she got this job. She was excited about getting it because she knew that having this job, she would have the opportunity to move, and she would also have the opportunity to get 50% of her rent paid. Boom. Great opportunity for her. Okay, she gets here. She's thinking that this man is going to help out because she's going to be working and bringing more money to the table. So he's going to uphold his end. I mean, whatever his end is, if he's not working, then everything in the house should be done. Okay, it shouldn't be that much left for her to do, but he didn't do that. And so she got overwhelmed and depressed because it's a lot on her shoulders, a lot she's trying to keep together. And she quit the job. Simple as that. But now she's going to get overwhelmed because the bills don't stop coming because you're depressed. And you got them babies, so you got to keep a roof over their head. And you can't blame everything on mental health. You're an adult at this. She's an adult at this point. So, and with children that are dependent on her. Nobody gives a damn. I mean, everybody has mental issues, everybody struggles mentally from time to time, especially mothers. So I can relate to that, but regardless of your mental state, as a mother, you have to make the best choices for your family and for your children. I don't know if this was the best decision for her and her children. If the rent is higher than the other place, I mean, she's claiming she has the money to pay her rent, but now she's saying she has to give the lady her whole entire check. So what is that really saying? So I don't know. I wish the best for Wine Glass. I hope she gets it together, but it just seems like it's going to be a long time before she actually gets it together. So that concludes my reaction to Wine Glass. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment down below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on what Wine Glass was talking about and some of the stuff that I was saying. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until next time, I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.